pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Maung Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong Dujong Rinpoche, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dukden Dorji, homage to the three jewels of the altar, homage to the main deity of the ceremony today, to the chief of the Western Paradise, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Simu, to Tensiti Rinpoche, and all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our VIPs today. From the Taiwan government, the Chief Secretary, Mr. and Mrs. Zheng Peifu. And academician from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu Siyi and Mrs. Zhu. And the legislator, Ms. Xi Su-hua. And the council person from Nantou County, Mr. Jian. And the council from Tainan City, Mr. Tsai Wang-chuen. From the Zhongshan Medical College Affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senglong. And the scholars group of Triveda School and the medical group. Law advisors to Triveda Foundation, Mr. Luo and Ms. Huang. And from the U.S. Goldstone Studios Executive Director, Mr. Lin. And Datuk from Malaysia, Mr. Lee Hai An. And the Daptin, Ms. Li Qing. And their daughter, Ms. Li Qi. And Sky Source Enterprise Limited, the Taiwan branch business manager, Mr. Yang. And the general manager from the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizheng. And the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Mr. Chang Ren. And the director of the Lotus Light Charity Society of Taiwan, Mr. Li Chunyang. And producers for the Geni Diansang Xinten from CTI TV Taiwan, Ms. Rebecca Shiachi. And the producers for the Great Perfection Dharma, Hebaja Exposition and Direct Messages of Tantrayana, producers Master Lian Yu.
My sister, Lu Shengmei Nisi.
Miss Lu Shengmei, my sister. And my sister, Miss Lu Guoying and husband. And thank you to my brother Lu Qi-wei for his donation of 100,000 NT dollars. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do? First, I would like to say a few greetings.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 那今天有人先上来讲吗？
Is there anybody talking today?
师兄跟他的夫人
Dhamma brother Yang Zong and his wife and sisters.
Today we are going to share our real experience. About 8 to 9 years ago, very real stuff happened to my family. Because of this, I think I need to find a person to help me out. Then the Purple Lotus Association sent me some information from their chapter, and I think for maybe 20 to 30 years I haven't heard anything bad about her, so I think since I need help I can go give it a try. Then I went to her ceremony and asked her why so many weird things happened to my family, and she told me. I showed her the picture of my family altar, and she said there is something wrong with your altar in your home, so I need to pay a visit to your family to deal with that. And at that moment I felt very grateful because she was very friendly, and she offered to come to my home herself, and she sent me to tankas and also the statues, and she helped me to clean my house. I think that it should be the turning point in my life, but I can't imagine that it was a nightmare for me. Like, she made me drop from the very, very bad house. Because of those spiritual things, I was sick. I did see those ghosts. Then I think she can help me. But like days passed, I didn't recover, and my house got worse, and the problem in my family got worse. And my only pet got disease too. And the disciple told me this Master X communicated with animals. So I trusted them, but after she told me, my dog told her, my dog is my grandparents, and she told the dog like to die. So I did many merits for the dog and for my husband too. But one day the Master X told me the only thing you can give to the dog is giving the dog a shot that's make him die. And also this Master X said that maybe you can go get abortion. But we know Grandmaster told us we should not kill any people, any animals. And here in my brain, I got tumor, and all the systems and family have very serious problem. So everything I do every day is go to the hospital, have the health check. And then in my dream, the ghost approaches me and steal the key from me. Then I couldn't get up right away. And like today I'm good, but I cannot imagine what will happen to me tomorrow. So people said that you look nice, you look healthy. And the doctor didn't believe that I got the disease. And the doctor told me that your life is really miserable. And I was sad to hear that. And I almost very often whenever she told me really broke me like into pieces. And I cried every day, and I prayed to Grandmaster and the Golden Mother, and I asked them what happened to me. What happened to me? How come so many bad things happened to me? But finally I heard many things about the Master X happened. But my brain got hurt very seriously. So I cannot think, and I cannot see things clearly. But after Grandmaster's blessing, I started to think clearly, and I started to feel that I got hope in my life. And now the ghost in my brain is different from what I met before I met this Master X. This ghost pushed me to die, and so I really want to die. So I really want to die. So every morning when I woke up, I think, wow, I'm still here. I really want to die. And I have to tell you, this is all true. If it's not because of her, I won't tell you. But I can really distinguish that's from her, definitely. And all the wound I got in my heart, in my body, it's really from her. The ghost from her. And the true Buddha school Dharma taught by Grandmaster is not to hurt anybody. But here I like to remind you, wake you up, because only true Buddha can guide us to the brightness. You just come here to show your regret and do the precept. Then you will be fine. If you are fine, then I bless you, but I really hope you can wake up soon.
How long were you volunteering there? About 3 years.
I've been there she told us we have to be volunteers there because we had very bad karma in the past. So we have to sell that house to live in their temple. Just like what Grandmaster told us before, it's really real. Grandmaster Shimu. And today I'm going to talk about my own problem. I was there for 3 years, and I even took the staff's chores from there to my home. I worked so hard to be the volunteer, but it was the toughest, the most difficult time in my life. And to make myself take a breath, I had to lie on bed, so I can get energy to live a good day, to have a normal day to live. But my life was really tough. Once my spinal cord didn't feel good. I cannot take breath, then I fainted. During that time, a voice told me, sit up. And after I woke up, then at the moment I found that I couldn't sleep. I don't know who helped me to sit up and who asked me to stand up. And gradually I found that I cannot control myself, and I can control my pee. So I cannot control myself. And once after I can move, I can start to talk just like a normal person. Also, after I woke up, I cannot move, I cannot get up. And once I could get up, I move very slowly, step by step. I have to wake up very slowly, step by step. But because I cannot move, it's really tough for me. Then I went back to sleep. And after I woke up, I found that I could not take a breath. I fainted right away. And then I didn't know what happened. Then I bumped into the closet. My mom found that I bumped into the closet, and then she asked me what happened and why did you lie on the floor. Because I didn't know what happened to me, I told her I don't know what happened. I didn't know why I lied on the floor. My mom said that you stand up quickly. And I said that I cannot just move. And mom told me to stand up. If my mom didn't find me, and then I might be sent to the hospital. And over the 3 years, because of the breath problem, and it took so much energy for me to get up, and I hope that I do not live so long. Then that's the Buddha's blessing for me not to live so long. The longer I live, the better my life will be. And also I remember when I tried to recite a mantra of a guru, and in a dream it says that I really meet true Buddha, so I should appreciate that. And I'm so grateful to meet the Grandmaster and to practice the true Buddha school, Dharma. But I left there for 5 years already. But I still don't feel good. Just somewhere in my body, I just don't feel well, and no doctor can find my real problem. I got a health check and X-ray, but the doctor said I don't really know what your problem is, because everything according to your data is right, no problem at all. But still now, I know I just don't want to give up. I don't want to waste my life, because I met Grandmaster already. So count on this thought, believing in Grandmaster. I live till now. So I hope that all of you, like me, if you already if you already board on the ghost boat, please leave there right away. Come back to Grandmaster and follow him, and let's go to the Maha Twin Lost Count. Grandmaster, Shimo, all the Buddhas, and all the Dharma masters. And maybe you know me like 7 years ago. And there was a big accident in the avenue of True Buddha, and I was a person hit. And at the moment, I was the volunteer in the second year in Purple Lotus Association. And when I was a volunteer, and she told me to get divorced and sell everything I have in Taiwan and move to America to follow her. But I know that's a joke. I know the Grandmaster. Grandmaster never told anybody to sell houses just to be ordained. So like 7 years ago, I walked on the avenue of True Buddha. A taxi bumped me, and I was sent to the hospital. I almost died. Then my family told me the Grandmaster blessed me and blessed my pictures, and then I was saved and get back to Taipei. And the doctor told me I should stay in the hospital for 4 to 6 months because my spinal cord was totally broken. Yeah. And the doctor said that my brain's swollen, and so my intelligence was dropped to like 3 years old. So my wife told me the only thing I wanted from my wife is chocolate, and I can eat a big bag, a huge bag, a family size chocolate. I eat the whole bag. So the only thing I asked from my wife is the chocolate. So she reminded me to recite mantra of the Guru. Then the people from Purple Lotus Associates came to see me, and the other disciples come to see me, and the Grandmasters and the non-masters came to see me too. And so the person from Purple Lotus Association came to see me and sent me the beads and Lama. Okay, and I recite the mantra of the Guru using that Lama. But I found my bed. But my bed was shaking, and I woke up. I found lots of black shade around my bed, and then I said, Grandmaster, please help me. Then all the ghosts around me disappeared, and the doctor told me I won't be released. I couldn't be released in 3 months, but I got released in 15 days. And the Grandmaster told the other masters told me I should go to see Grandmaster in person. So Grandmaster blessed me every day. And then one day Grandmaster joked with me, "You are okay now." But I think I need more blessings. And Grandmaster says, "Okay, you are really fine." Then I think it's time. I really recovered, but another problem happened. And after Grandmaster's blessings, only two of my arms are done. But after I went back there, my two arms were still numb. And one night in the second week, I cried when I have the spiritual cultivation. I prayed to my. I cried because I found out why my two arms are still dumb. But a magic thing happened. A dream that night on the ground. Under the ground is the waves. And Grandmaster talked to a guy with white robe and long hair. And Grandmaster talked to him, and then after their chatting, they stood up and shook hands. And then the next day, I was totally recovered. So I almost died. It's because Grandmaster saved me, and trust him, I was saved. And also after Grandmaster's blessings, my spinal cord was recovered soon, but my life was normal. But 6 years after 6 years, last week I got MRI, another magic things happened. You should go to ask the former doctor why they gave you the operation. Your spinal cord is as normal as the normal people, so nothing really, no operation should be done to you. The doctor I'm seeing now is a very famous doctor. So over the 6 years, I got all the blessings from Grandmaster, and my spinal cord is as complete and perfect as the normal person. So you trust Grandmaster or Master X. I'm not sure if this program will be spread, but I like to tell all the venerable and those who believed in Master X and all these venerables. I'm so familiar with you, but I want you to see through it. And you are my very good Dharma friends. I don't want to see you sink to the house. I want you to know that Grandmaster is real and he's the only one. I don't want you to follow my bad road. Okay.
Today is the Homa of Amitabha Buddha. And a few days ago, Golden Mother descended and she said, on December 31st, the 31st, she will retract all the 5 heads of the ghosts and all the ghosts into her bag. She will collect them all and take them away.
那是由他们的业障，那么这些鬼众
And
依照他们本身的业障
and they will be
去轮回。
they incarnated according to their karma. That's Golden Mother's
那么有一点，
guidance.
因为台湾本身的鬼庙也是很多的，
But there are many temples of ghosts in
大家知
Taiwan,
道的18王宫在
like
台北
the temple of the 18
那
kings
么
in
在台
Taipei
大理
and in Taichung, Dali.
大理有七香仙庙，
There is a temple of the 7 generals.
也是的，那是属于鬼庙。
They are considered a temple of ghosts.
流水寺
And the flowing water temple,
流水寺
oh, flowing water pond,
这个水流失流到那里就停在那里，
because the water
它报
stops
给
there
村庄的人，
and give a dream to the villager, and the villager built a temple for him, and it's called the flowing water pond, P-O-N-D.
因为台湾有很多
That's also the temple of ghosts. There are many ghost temples in Taiwan.
信公庙啊，
In Gong,
有一
Bai Xing Gong Miao, In Gong Miao, they're all considered ghost temples, and they are different from the earth god temples.
鬼庙
The earth god is the fortune gods. Ghost temples are ghost temples,
当然
but the temples for the earth gods are different.
很简单，
And Jingyingfu also considered to be ghost.
过去
It's very
左
simple.
手边有写着
If in front of you, on your left, if it's written that all your
它的坛
prayers will be granted, you Chu
那
Biying.
是什么庙？
What kind of temples?
就是有求必应。
That's called the Yu Ying Gong, which means that responsive temple.
另外呢，它的雕像跟一般的佛像不一样，
And their statues are different from the typical statues.
在拔武士刀，
There was one that's like pulling out a sword,
是把刀握在手上，
and the other statue with the holding sword in his
跟
hand.
佛像不一样。
And they have different postures than typical Buddha statues.
奇怪，
And the statues are
这个精神
very strange.
看到了，你就知道
So when you see them, you would know.
那个坛城是谁做的。
Because the altar was made by
金英府的坛城是谁做的？
the altar for the Jingyin Fu
上师
was
他做的，
constructed by the father of Master Lian
他
Dong.
做的。
Your father built that, right?
讲一下你爸爸现在的身体怎么样？
So could you please share the condition of your father now? My father was a carpenter and in renovation. Only recently I found out that he went to the Purple Lotus to help them to build the new temple or altar for the Jingyin Fu. And yesterday afternoon he found out that ever since he built that, he started to be mentally disturbed. He would hear voices and he would pull his hair to the top of his head. So he started to have all these conditions after building that temple. And his mood was very unstable. And this year, he was in an accident and broke his arm and was saved by Grandmaster. He often was distracted, and he had some photos taken, and he couldn't find them. And he couldn't find them at first, but then he found there is still some SD card in the camera. So today I showed them to Grandmaster. So, does your dad want to die? Yes. He always have lots of negative thinkings. He always wanted to die. Just wanted to die, but he's not dead. That's good. And he would have really bad temper and then throw things upside down. In the whole family was affected really badly. I hope that after the blessings, your father would recover. So, for the renovation and the altar of the one in Taiwan was built by his father. And after he finished that, he didn't get good rewards, but he was distracted every day in his body, and he suffered from accident, and his health was bad, and suffered from lots of disturbances. And he also told me that he wanted to die every day. So there were such symptoms. So the disturbances of the ghost temples are really bad. So please don't get close to them. Don't touch them. Good thing that Golden Mother told me that at the end of this year, the 5 heads of the Jingyinfu ghost and all the ghosts would be taken away. It's not that none of the ghosts came to find me. They did come to find me, but I defeat them all completely. And in my heart, there was a knife that's like cross, so it can rotate. And when it cuts the heads of all the ghosts, and then their blood would spurt, and they all died and fall to the ground. So I cried out, please come find me. Instead of finding my good disciples, kind-hearted disciples. It's easy to bully the kind-hearted disciples, but all you want should be me. Why don't you just come and get me instead of going for the kind-hearted disciples? So if you dare, come and find me. So I challenged them. And they did come find me for several times, and they spoke in my ears too. So they spoke in my ears. Come, let me take you somewhere. Where? To go to her place, to her center, to find that Master X. Let me take you to see. Where are you from? I asked. And he said, from that center. And then that flying knife flew and chopped his head off. And when the other ghosts saw that, they ran away completely. Not even one left. And this is a true story. I could hear the talks of the ghost. But in my heart, I have a cross-shaped flying knife that can fly from my heart and rotate and chop off their heads. And after killing a row of them, the rest ran away completely. So I have just said about the Jing Yin Fu, the 5 heads of the ghosts, to please just come to me instead of those kind-hearted disciples. If you dare, come here. I kept calling for them, and not even one dare to come. Not even their cockroaches. If you dare, come find me. And Golden Mother later said that they will be all taken away. And in the future, those temples will not be responsive anymore. So your requests will not be fulfilled there. Today, we practice Amitabha Buddha Homa. And just now I mentioned Dharma, we could say he's the Dharma brother, Zheng Yaozong, that he left the world recently. He was a Dharma brother, that death is the biggest, that once he's dead, that the past, we don't recount the past anymore. And Grandmaster still did Bardo deliverance for him. First his wife died, and then he died soon after. So the family now is gone. So death is the biggest, so we still call him Dharma brother Zheng Yaozong. So you go to the Buddha land with karma, and today is Amitabha Buddha's Homa, and I still request Amitabha to bring him to the Buddha land with karma, because Grandmaster never forsake any single being. And thirdly, someone asked Master Nona, there are so many dharmas in Tantrayana. There are so many tantric dharma around. Which dharma is the best? Which dharma is the biggest, the greatest? And Master Nona replied, is the great dharma of Amitabha, is the greatest. Of all the tantric dharma, of all the Buddha dharma, Amitabha Buddha or Tathagata is the path of the simple dharma practice. It is not easy to walk the path of the Tantrayana, and also not easy for Zen Buddhism, and it's not easy for the precepts Buddhism. But the Pure Land Buddhism is the easiest to walk on. It's called the simple path. And in Amitabha Sutra, it was mentioned, the small Amitabha Sutra, the great Amitabha Sutra mentioned that at the time of death, you repent everything, and you chanted Amitabha Buddha in full concentration for 10 times, then Amitabha Buddha would appear and guide you to the Pure Land, to the Western Paradise. There are two attendants next to Amitabha Buddha. One is Kuan Yin Lokeswara Bodhisattva, or Mani Padme Hum, and one is Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva, Om Sisi So Soha. There are two bodhisattvas who are greatly compassionate. They are great bodhisattva, especially Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara or Lokeswara. And we all know about Amitabha Buddha, and every monk and nun would greet with Namo Amitabha. But in the movies, that's wrong, because they would say Omi Tohut. That's not right. That's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. In the movies, the monk would say Amitabha. That's wrong. Actually, it should be Amitabha. Should be light. Then it can rise, and O is going down to the hell. So the pronunciation was wrong in the movies. And in the Great Amitabha Sutra, it was written about the manifested youth. In the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, there are innumerable lotus youths. And I have read this spoken. The lotus youth meets the golden sage, and the showers of flowers like jade around you, and listening to the wonderful sound above the clouds. And the bliss is way beyond those in heavens. And Western Paradise is above the 3 heavenly realms. That's why it's beyond the heavens. And at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, there's so many lotus youths. And their hearts or minds are the same. They're all interconnected. And it's called those with the same minds have the same virtues. There is no such case that there would be a lotus youth battling another lotus youth, because all the lotus youth are innocent and pure. And the origin of lotus youths are Amitabha Buddha. They all come from Amitabha Buddha. In the Western Paradise, there are nine classes of lotus births. And in the Legends of the Gods, they say 12 classes. Why? In the Feng Song Pang, which is the Legends of the Gods, let me share this special thing. The Legend of the Gods was written by Lu Xixing, and he wrote that at the Western Paradise there are 12 classes. But then he found that in the sutra there were only 9 classes of lotus births, so he created the story. Guiling Xingpu. So there was like a battle between 2 sects. A Zai sect. And there was a cultivator called Guiling Xingpu. And then he was subdued and become Xijing. And then Amitabha asked the great white lotus youth that appeared in the legend of the gods too. Only the white lotus youth appeared in or mentioned in the legend of the gods. And Amitabha gave him a cloth bag and asked him to go to the human world and surround all the get all the Xijing and then bring them back to the Western paradise. Oh, all the germs. And then he collected all the germs and then put them in his bag and brought them back to the Western paradise. And then the white lotus youth was very sleepy and he fell asleep, and the bag opened a little bit and the germ flew out, and then the 12 classes of lotus birds became only 9 because the 3 were eaten up by the bacteria, by the germs. So then there were only 9 classes of lotus birds. So this was mentioned in Feng Seng Bang, the legend of the gods. So it mentioned about only the white Padma Kumara, not the other Padma Kumaras. And I have told you long ago that white is the complete color of all colors, is the combine of all colors. So if you know about colors or paintings, then you would know. If you place all the different colors and then you rotate them, then all you see is the color white. Very interestingly, if you just take out one of the colors, whether it's red, orange, blue, yellow, purple, indigo, yellow, if all the colors exist and you rotate, then it would become white. But if you take one of them away, then it would become black. So if you know, if you paint, then you would know. Is this physics or chemistry? So the academician, is this considered, is this physics? Yes, it's physics. So if you study physics, you would know that if you combine all the colors, then it would become white. If you take away one of the colors, then it would become black. It's very strange. One is white, one is black. With one white and one black, then it would become the 8 trigrams. Pakwa. Fuxi wrote that. And the patriarchs of Pakwa, Fuxi, the king of Wen, that's the origins of Pakwa. Fuxi, the king of Wen, the Zhou Gong, Duke of Zhou, Confucius, Gongzi, Yi Mengsan, Gui Gu Xianzhen. That's the lineage for Pakwa of Yi Jing. That's the origin. The Taoists revere 3 books. 3 Taoist sutras are: the first is the Tao Te Ching of Lao Tzu. Second book, Zhou Yi Chan Tong Qi. That is about the Bakwa of Yi Jing, the 8 trigrams. Third is Huang Ting Jing, or Huang Ting Nei Jing Jing, and Huang Ting Zhong Jing Jing and Huang Ting Wai Jing Jing. So the yellow pavilion, outer inner and middle sutras. And Grandmaster have read all of these Taoist sutras and comprehended them. Tao Ti Jing, Zhou Yi Chan Tong Xing, and Huang Ting Jing. These 3 sutras. And Grandmaster have read Tao Te Jing and the Chan Tong Jing of Zhou Yi and Huang Ting Jing. You need to have the knowledge of Taoism and the knowledge of Buddhism, and you comprehended both Taoist and Buddhist studies, and also the Confucius thinkings of philosophy. So Grandmaster have learned all of these 3 philosophies of Taoist, Buddhist, and Confucius. So Grandmaster is very knowledgeable and educated. So the 5 great treatises of Buddhism have been studied by Grandmaster, and they're just the foundation of Tantrayana. So simply, let me ask a question. So Master asks, have you ever read these 3 sutras? Tao Te Jing, Zhou Yi Huan Tong Jing, and the Huang Ting Jing. Have you ever learned the basic 5 great treatises? She has never learned those. She's never read nor studied them. So the qualification of Triveda schools, masters, I don't want to mention them, because Grandmaster needed people to help. So I told them, study well, ask well, and use them well. Of course, I cannot brag how knowledgeable I am, because there would be better people around. So please remember, don't feel superior to others. And as Buddhists, you need to remember, don't be arrogant, that the great Dharma of Amitabha Buddha is the greatest. Those who became primary supplicants today, or those who registered and received empowerments, are truly fortunate. First, you learn concentration, full concentration, single-mindedness, and that is meditative stability. And then you learn to chant the mantra or recite Buddha's name and visualize anytime and any place. If I have said before, although Grandmaster study Tantric Buddhism, but Grandmaster also chant Amitabha Buddha. Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas bear the same name and identification of Amitabha Buddha. Where does this come from? You only know after reading so many sutras. So this is only recited after I mentioned it. Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas bear the same name and identification of Amitabha Buddha. How come there's so many Amitabha Buddhas? Because they also include the Padmakumaras. You know, let me tell you, Padmakumaras are Amitabha, and Amitabhas are Padmakumaras. So Padmakumaras are great enough, right? Amitabha Buddha is my primary yidam in my Buddhist studies.
刚刚在那个唱诵当中，
Just now in the mantra chanting, so is that Grandmaster's voice in there? Yes. Grandmaster also chanted it. That's the 6-syllable Amitabha chanting, or the 4-syllable Amitabha chanting that I learned at the Fojalins. Amitabha, 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 Amitabha. That's what I learned at the Fojalins, the 4-syllable Amitabha, and there's the long Amitabha. That's the extended singing of Amitabha, or the short one. That's very long. That's how you sing it. So I chant Amitabha's name at all times, and I always practice at all times, at any time, any place. And even when I perform the 7 postures of yoga or performing prostrations, I would also chant Amitabha Buddha. So Amitabha Buddha is truly, truly great. When I saw Amitabha Buddha, all I saw was his toes. My eyes saw his toes, and then I looked up. Oh my gosh! He was standing on the earth, and he reached the sky, and I was like a little ant in front of his toes, very tiny. So see, the lotus youth met the golden sage. And the showering flowers falling left and right like jade, and the marvelous sound heard above the clouds, and the bliss is way beyond the heavens. Once you go to the Western paradise, then it is non-returning, and if you practice there, then you can attain Buddhahood. And the Lamdre for today, let me just talk a little bit. That in Lamdre, there were many ancient terms that in the Mahayanas key path already included there, but nowadays it's already translated into the common terms. It was in Sanskrit before, and after Sanskrit it was translated into Tibetans, so the authors were Indians, while the author was an Indian, Virupa. And then when it got to Tibet, in the Sakya sect, it was translated into Tibetans, and then later was translated into Chinese. So sometimes there may be some discrepancies and some mistakes or errors. But the Lamdre book that we chose mentioned that if the content of the book have discrepancies, please forgive my mistakes. If there are errors or discrepancies in this book of Lamdre, please correct them by those who understand them. So if the Lamdre included here have some errors and discrepancies, they hope that the Dakinis and the experts can correct and supplement them. So what the translators put in here are not necessarily correct. So that's what it meant. Let me share a few jokes. There was a big fat girl, and she said, "Oh God, how come I'm still so fat even if I'm on diet?" And God said, "Let me check, because when you were being born, your parents asked for a chubby baby. Of course, everybody asks for a chubby baby. So this is the same as what I said about Lamdre. So you cannot say it's the fat baby or the skinny baby or the middle baby. So what should you say then? That's the question. So if you say it, then you use the wrong words. That's why you become fat." At the company, the two men got married, and they often shared the experiences with marriage. And Mr. Wang said, "My wife maybe is in menopause and she's forgetful, and she was holding a knife and looking for the knife. You know, sometimes you're wearing the glasses and you're looking for your glasses, but actually the glasses are already on your face." So Mr. Liu said, "Well, your case is much better than mine. You know, my wife is carrying the knife looking for me." You know, honestly speaking, in order to get along, you need to be innocent and pure. You know, and Padma Kumara, or lotus youth, is pure and innocent. Grandmaster is full of feelings. I'm innocent and pure. But you need your emotions and ratio has to be just right. If I speak Cantonese, the Cantonese would ask, "What are you talking about? What are you saying?" Oh my gosh. What are you talking about? It's hard to say it just right. So, in order to get along with each other, it's really difficult to be just right. Even for best friends, to get along for a long time, a long period of time, is really hard. And we study Buddhism and we want to be innocent and pure. And then if you meet someone with agenda, it will be hard. And Grandmaster is a very affectionate. You know, I said that if you repent with all your hearts, Grandmaster will definitely save you. The wife said, "Hubby, I want to learn swimming because then I lose weight." And the husband said, "Don't be silly. Look at the whales. They're swimming 24 hours a day and they don't lose weight." So the joke seems to make sense. Actually, you can't compare human beings to the whales. Human beings are human beings, and ghosts are ghosts. Gods are gods, and the sages are the sages, and Buddhas are Buddhas, and you can't compare them. And whichever realm you reach in your spiritual cultivation, you would know for yourself. You know, you would experience some spiritual signs. Are you a true Padma Kumara? If you are a Padma Kumara, then you would be innocent and pure, because that's the basic characteristic of a Padma Kumara or lotus youth. They have no evil mind. They will not cheat you from your money, of your money. They don't do fraud or scam, and they don't lie. So lotus youth are not like that. And there's a song that said that Padma Kumara is never pretentious because they are very innocent and pure. They are not hypocritical. Xiaoming said to the teacher, to steam the bun, one bun is 3 minutes, and how long will it take to steam 3 buns? And he said, 9 minutes. So you fool, do you steam the bun one by one? And to eat one bun, it takes 1 minute, and 10 buns, 10 minutes. Are you full? In 10 minutes you eat 10 buns, then you would be stuffed. So that's why you can't compare me to others in lots of things. Each individual has his or her own viewpoint or mindset and ability. Sometimes you can't compare, sometimes you can. Why? In India, there are 4 castes. The first one is for spiritual cultivators. And the second caste in India is for the royalties, spiritual cultivators, and then the kings. And then the typical citizens, traders, businessmen, or skilled people. And the fourth is the slaves. 4 levels of classes. And the caste still exists in today's India. And they can only marry people in the same social class or caste. So as soon as we are born, we are classified according to our karma, where you're born and whether you're a man or woman, and how your faith and destiny are, and which path you would walk on. So they're predestined. So that's based on your faith and destiny. So you can't compare sometimes. How do you compare? How can you compare Ma Ying-jeou and Tsai Ing-wen? Both are or were presidents and leaders of the nations, but you can't compare the two of them. Each has his or her own strength and shortcomings. And the husband complained the wife's cooking was really bad, and the wife replied, "But you're marrying a wife and not a chef." And at night, the wife asked the husband, "Oh, there's some strange noise out there. Why don't you check?" And the husband replied, "But you're marrying a husband and not a policeman." So if you reason like that, that would be hard. So in Lamdre, it's very difficult to find the common points. So whatever that you can absorb, it's yours. Grandmaster is like that too. Grandmaster have read lots of Taoist sutras and Buddhist sutras and treatises and compendiums, and have learned a lot. And it only becomes yours through your own absorption. So the Dharma teaching that I give, you listen, and yet if you don't digest it, you don't absorb it, and you don't use it, and you don't make it yours, then you're just wasting your time. So sometimes, even after I say so much, those who don't understand still don't understand. If you're a cow, wherever you go, you're still a cow. Wherever you're led to, you're still a cow. And Simu is a cow's zodiac, and my Chinese zodiac is a rooster. So she's stubborn like a cow. And if you know how to handle it, then it's easy. But if you don't understand about the stubbornness of a cow, then it would be hard. And I'm a rooster. I should just listen to the cow. Every time I ask her, let me get out tonight. I just want to go see Li Qi, because Li Qi's here, and I know where she lives, at the Fuwan. Tonight I want to go visit Li Qi. And then Simu replied, I know you're not going to see Li Qi. So I just stayed home. Sorry. I never left the house at night. Actually, I could open the door, but I don't dare to open it. You know why? You know, the Westerners refer to people, the cowards, as chickens. Today is really too hot, so I bought a basket of eggs, and when I got home they all become chicks. And then and I bought the straw, and I bought the strangers and becomes yeah, this is also play of words of Chinese. What time is it? Oh, Amitabha. It's 5:32. 5:30 already. So let me tell you, we study Buddhism. So digest the Buddha Dharma. We practice Buddhism. We follow the footsteps of the Buddha. In the future, we will be able to attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvahood, Pratyeka Buddhahood, and Shravakahood. Arhatships. Remember, by all means, never to study the ghost. To study from the ghost. Never to employ the ghost. Never pray, worship, or beg to the ghost. If you befriend the ghost, then you study the ghost. You study from the ghost. By befriending the Buddhas, we study to become Buddhas. But they befriend the ghosts, and then they learn from the ghosts, and then in the future they would become ghosts. Clap. So is this right? Is this good? Oh, money, baby, home.